Yes, with your beautiful nails. There you go.
Perfect. Well, okay, now I have to keep it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me see your nails.
Look, my friend made me these. They're
Those
press-ons.
are gorgeous.
Yes, thank you so much.
I had to start with a deep breath. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Sandiverse. I am here with Lupita today. I'm so excited to have her here today. She did the cover art for the upcoming single, Foggy. So you have probably already seen this art on my page. If you haven't, please go check it out. And you'll get to hear a little bit more about Lupita, and she'll let you know where to find her online so you can see more of her artwork. All right, cool. So ready to get started?
Yes.
All right, let's do it. So when did you start doing art and why?
This is always a weird question for me because it's like, I almost don't remember a time where I wasn't doing it. You know, like never. I've always, my mom tells me I've always had like a notepad and a pencil in hand. But I think what drove it for me really hard was that I had an uncle who was an artist, but he never really did art, you know, like he just kind of liked doing it, but he was really good, and it always broke my heart that like he didn't get to like be an artist, because he also just wanted to be a hairstylist and like live his best life, but he couldn't because he was working. And so like to me it was like, I guess this is what we came here for, right? Like a better life. Like let me try and actually live out my dream if I can. So that's kind of what pushes me.
Do you have any formal training? Because you said you just have been drawing your whole life and doing art your whole life. Have you just learned through experience, or have you had a teacher? How did that happen?
I feel like yes and no, because I never went to college. Like last minute I completely bailed. I was like, you know what, that's not for me, you know, no. But I did have a teacher, my last art teacher. Every other teacher before that low-key made me want to quit art. But like he came along and he was kind of my saving grace. But he's not only been like a super professional, like actually like mentor, he's also just almost been like a father figure almost a little bit, where like I genuinely believe that if it weren't for some of the things he would say to me and how genuine he was with me, that like I don't think I'd be where I am today in my progress. Even when he would give me advice and stuff, like I wouldn't take it. I was really hard-headed about things. I remember this one time he was like, your shading literally sucks. And I remember being like, no it doesn't, I'm the best. And like it literally, like looking back at it, I was just like, how could I take that? Like that's not good at all. But like I didn't actually break out of that mold until I decided like, maybe this isn't that good. Maybe that isn't that good. And like I had to kind of like come to everything at my own pace, which I feel like is everybody, right? I feel like in a way I was my own teacher, but he was a very big part of it too.
So this is kind of just digging deeper into what you do. Well, how would you describe your art? What kind of art do you do? What kind of medium do you use? I think I said that right, I'm not sure.
Yes, you
okay.
did, you did. So I think this is usually hard for me to answer too, because I think most people look at my art and they like to think like psychedelic and like trippy and stuff, and I won't disagree. But at the same time, those are never my intentions going into it. Like I'm never like, how can I make this look as trippy as possible, and how can I make this look as, you know, psychedelic as possible or whatever. Like for me, honestly, a majority of the things that I make are nude women, and so when people look at them, it's like, oh, you know, naked woman, and like a trippy naked woman, you know. But like for me, I'm just like, you know, if you really want me to stop and like explain the pieces and like the thought process behind why I made certain things a certain way or a certain color, like I could totally do that. But most people, like, I don't know, I feel like almost the illusion is a little bit washed away when that happens. In a way, because I feel like it also can enhance the experience. In my opinion, it depends on the certain person that I'm going into depth with it about. The nude pieces that I do, a lot of them are women that like I know personally, and like they send me these pictures to draw out. And I absolutely love it because it's just like a different kind of like exchange when someone trusts you with like their naked body. And like I never tried to make it sexual or sexual in nature, even though I feel like that's what it looks like when you first look at it. For a lot of these women, this is like somebody looking at their body and seeing it as art. And for a lot of girls, that's like really therapeutic because they're just like, you know, I look at this and I think of how you saw me and like it makes me feel better, like it makes me feel good. And I feel like not only do I want them to start feeling better from like my thoughts, but I want them to like then start telling it to themselves. And I think they do. I hope they do.
So when I looked at your work online, like, yeah, it's felt very empowering for me to see the work that you do. I'm just like, yes.
How
like,
do
this
you
is so
see my
fun.
stuff?
It's just so feminine and like
very like,
yes, very feminine. It brings out like feminine in me, and it just feels like otherworldly too. Like it's like a mix between like what's really there on the surface and then like what we are. I think of what these women are like underneath, and like you get to see them in a completely different light, in a different light.
Exactly. I do. I totally want the mundane of it to be apparent, but then the mythicality of it to also be just as apparent, to like hit you hard that like they're actually coexisting.
Yes,
you know?
Exactly. That's exactly what I get when I look at what you do.
I made this necklace.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Tell us about the necklace.
You know,
you make jewelry too.
Yes, I do. Because I just think it's too expensive to buy. And also the feeling that you get when you watch somebody else wear what you made for them. Ooh, that's a different kind of satisfaction. It's not just a frame on the wall, you know, it's something that they wear, that they've personalized, that they like, just that they go and grab every day. You know, I had some people tell me that they're gaudy or that they don't know how to match it with their outfits, and I'm like, this is the outfit. You match your outfit to this. Like, hello.
The outfit, yes.
But
what was it like specifically working on the Foggy cover? What was that process like? I have to get back into that.
I feel like I knew you were gonna ask me this because I thought about it and I thought about what my answer was gonna be. I'd say it was perfect practice for like the stuff that I have to do on the regular, which is just channel people's energy. Except you weren't naked, so it was way harder. Because when somebody's sending me a naked picture, they're like naked. It's not just like what they look like. It's like how they're standing, how they decided to take the picture, where they decide to take the picture, how open they're about it. And so like you get so much just by seeing somebody's nude body. And I wasn't used to that with you. So I was like, okay, perfect, like a challenge.
I think you did an amazing job. Thank you. So what inspires you the most?
The fact that you can create, that you can make, that you can, it's almost like a godly power where you're like, I can take this blank piece of paper and this pencil and I can make like a whole world out of it, and like there's literally no limits. Like you can do it in endless amount of ways, and it's just like, oh my gosh, like you can just get so lost so easy trying to make things. And it's definitely not just about drawing. It's like with jewelry, clothing, like painting, pottery, like everything. I like to do a little bit of everything. I like let your creative juices go when they want to and not force it. But at the same time, forcing it is also kind of like a challenge on its own, because it's like, what if I had to? You know, what if I had to? Then what?
Sometimes even drawing or creating like something small, you know, or just like the worst thing you've ever created is sometimes better than creating nothing.
That's the thing.
So who are some of your favorite artists?
Lisa Frank.
Okay.
That's a top one off my head. I love Lisa Frank.
What do you like about her?
Obviously the colors. You know my art. It's the colors. It's just the way that you can punch so much into something and still make it look good.
So what are you most looking forward to?
in life in general?
Sure.
Hopefully getting to do more stuff like this involving my art. That's like literally it. Just becoming potentially a full-time artist, I hope. I have a little bit of window right now where I have a lot of time, so like I'm trying to push as hard as I can, make so many things, paint so many commissions, make as much money to be able to say like, hey, like I can do this, like I can really try to do this. Like,
well, good. I'm glad that you're going for it. Like sometimes it's scary to go for things like that and to really truly focus on your dream and what drives you and what you're passionate about.
I don't know how accepting your family is of your passion and how hard you're willing to work on all of it, but like my family does not see it as work at all. Like at all. I can miss a day of work, but be at home working on my shit the entire day, and my parents will still be like, but what are you doing?
I see.
But why aren't you going to work? And it's like, this is my work. It's like, I wish everyone tried to live in a world without art and without music and like,
yeah, exactly.
it'd be so bland.
Right.
Like I can't.
Right. I think the world needs artists.
I can't.
And I think the world needs to give back to artists.
Oh
also.
yeah.
I'm just gonna ask you a couple more questions. Are you? Oh, well, you kind of already answered it, so I'll loop it into one, I suppose.
Okay.
First of all, how can we find your work online, and then how can people reach out to you to ask for commissions? And I want everybody out there to know how they can find you.
I love receiving commissions, and like I said earlier, my thing about art is the challenge. Like the more challenging the idea, the better. I do have an Instagram. I don't know if you want me to just like
just say
verbally.
It. Yeah, maybe I can like flash it on the
know,
screen when I.
At Lupe, 2 underscores, and then Rodriguez. You can always look on my Instagram and check me, but that's what my Instagram is. You can always DM me on there. I'm super open to commissions at any time. Yeah.
And I'll make sure that I tag her in all of the things I post with the artwork as the next few weeks go by. I really want cookies now. Lupita, thank you so much for coming into town to do this. I really appreciate you, and I appreciate you working so hard on this cover. I've shown people and they absolutely love it and they think it's perfect. So I'm just very grateful for your talent.
Then I'd do it again.
Well, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you being here in the Sandiverse. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Just kidding.
Foggy will be out. It may already be out depending on when I post this video. So thank you and have a great day.
You too. You too. I'm just gonna be looking at the cookies the whole time.
Yeah, just look at the cookies. They're delicious. Yeah, get a shot of those cookies. They look delicious. We're gonna feel free to eat them while we're doing the interview. I don't care, whatever you want.
Don't tell me what
they might be a little too hot, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Just don't burn yourself. But they look dang.